This one.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. It's exactly 1 p.m. here, and I have muted everybody. For those that are joining in from outside Nigeria, this is Lagos, Nigeria, West Africa, and you are welcome to this session. We're actually waiting for others to join us, and as well, we're waiting for the facilitator to also join the session. And please note, we are recording this session, and I implore all of us to mute our microphones. Let's all mute our microphones so that our facilitator can actually hear us properly. So let's just wait for a few minutes so we can actually get a facilitator on board. just a few more minutes. I see that we've had a considerable number of participants that are joining. So, welcome everybody once again. My name is Midle Idris. I'm actually your host for today's session, this guest jobs Zoom network session. And I just spoke with our facilitator. Our facilitator is about to connect. And for those that are not used to our training sessions on Get Jobs is a platform where we actually talk about career-related subjects and trainings. And we have our facilitator today, wonderful facilitator today. And I'll be talking about him briefly. Then after the brief introduction of our facilitator, we'll take an advert session. And after the advert session, our facilitator will begin what he knows how to do best. We'll begin it shortly. So give me just about few seconds. I know he will join us soon. Probably is having issues with his network connection. So just few minutes, please. Hello, everyone. Emeka Oku raised up his hand. Uh, Emeka said, I can't hear. Can you hear me now? Daniel Josiah, Emeka, the audio. Can you hear me clearly now? Okay. Oh, okay. I see that you can hear me. I actually muted everything earlier because we don't want external interference. So that's why we muted everyone. So we don't have external interference. However, if you wish to communicate with me or with the facilitator, you can always send a chat. I can see all your chats clearly. You can just send me a chat. I'm still waiting for the facilitator. I think he's having issues with his connection. So it is 1:07 p.m. now. Like I said, I spoke to him earlier, and I'm waiting for him to connect from is end. Just for us that are not familiar with Zoom connections, this is the way forward, and this is the way we have to use to the new technology. We do not have to be together to get in touch with ourselves. So this is the way forward. Like I spoke to some few people yesterday, let's ensure that we have adequate data, and also we have adequate power supply, so we don't have any issues connecting. So still waiting. A sizable amount of people have joined, and I see some UNILAG students who have been under the tutelage of our facilitator also joining. So please just bear with me for a few minutes. I'm waiting for the facilitator to join. Just a few minutes, please. Apologies for the delay. Apologies for the delay, please. Let me just let me place a call again to the facilitator to confirm. Just a minute, please. So whilst our facilitator is still trying to connect, let me just give us a brief history of our facilitator. Our facilitator, in the name of Dr. Sunday J. Ojolo, holds a PhD degree in farm power and machinery from University of Ibadan in 2004. His area of specialization is in machinery development, manufacturing engineering, and energy systems. He was appointed as an assistant lecturer in mechanical engineering in 1998, and at present, he's an associate professor of machine design and manufacturing engineering in University of Lagos. This role he has been on since 2016. He was appointed adjunct professor of mechatronics engineering in Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, in March 2018, and visiting professor of manufacturing in the MontFort University, UK, in March 2020. He has published over 80 research papers in reputable journals, mostly international, and more than 20 papers in international conference proceedings. He has supervised 4 PhD theses, 50 master's projects, and 70 BSc projects. He is a member of American Society of Mechanical Engineers, Nigerian Society of Engineers, he's a fellow with the Nigerian Society of Engineers. He's also a member of Nigerian Institute of Mechanical Engineer. He's a COREN Registered Engineer. He's a member of the Technical Committee on Mechanical Engineering Standards of the Standard Organization of Nigeria, and also Rehovot Municipal Community of Israel. He has won grants from Weitz Centre for Development Studies in Israel, Laioning Institute of Energy Research in China, British Council, and TETFund. He was acting head of Department of Mechanical Engineering, Covenant University, Ota. Ota is actually in Ogun State, Nigeria. Also for University of Lagos. He was also the acting director of Information and Telecommunications Center, Bells University, Ota, also in Nigeria. He's on the editorial board of 5 reputable international journals, and he has examined several MSc and PhD theses. He's a consultant to many industries. So I think you've heard a lot about our facilitator, who I am happy to announce to you he has joined our session. So before our facilitator comes on board, I would just like to have a 2-minute break to talk about Get Job, just to have an overview of Get Job. So I'm going to share my screen now, and we'll just have just a few minutes, just 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. Thank you so much. Welcome back to Get Job's Zoom session. So I'll be handing you over to our facilitator for today, Ojolo. You have the floor, sir. Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon. Are you hearing me?
Yes, we can all hear you loud and clear.
You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Or the volume here is very low, I don't know. But you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
But let's go, don't worry. I get it. Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody.
Yes, they can all hear you. I muted everybody so that there won't be disturbances from the background.
Okay.
Yes, they can all hear you.
Today we'll be talking about value dates and non-value. You can share my PowerPoint at me.
Yes, it's on now.
Yeah. So many generally, and the confusion is that maybe you are enterprise or you should be, well, even say that ability is concerned with or developing skill. Actually, it is making or codes for them. Or whatever. From even the university or once they get employment after graduation, they are employed, but far, far more than that. Age and Polar says that employee is being capable of getting and keeping work. To get the work must be fulfilling. It's about ability to move within the labor market so as to realize your potential through sustainable employment. You see the word employment, some sustainable. Today, after six, maybe the company, okay, is the video on now?
Yes, we can see you.
Okay. So I'm still trying to use my.
Okay.
So the sustainability is very key. It's not just 1 or 2 years. And is the major thing in being employable. Number one, your asset gain from maybe your course of study, skill, and your attitude to even that course of study. Your deployment, your career, maybe your job. Some people don't even know how they give their CV to their relation or for jobs. For example, get Nigeria is one of job. Then presentation. I see a lot of graduates this day, they have a lot of problem with presentation. For example, when they write CV, some just do copy and paste. When they are preparing their CV, they go to CV template, just cut there and adjust. No, you have to write your CV, prepare it as it flows from all the things you have been doing so far, which is very important. Then your employability asset depends also on some circumstance, maybe family background or external factors. As we see now, people say no job, no job. But I must tell you there are still jobs. It depends your attitude on the information you have that will determine whether you will get job or not. So somebody has proposed a model giving us 5 elements concerning your from the university or higher institution, because that's where you get prepared for the outside world. The knowledge of your discipline, of your subject matter is very important. Some people, they are just interested in getting a class of degree. They don't have the in-depth knowledge of that subject. It's not that you get a first class or a 2-1 that is maybe so important, but do you have thorough knowledge of that subject matter? Then there are some basic skills. Some subjects are practical oriented, like engineering, accounting, medicine, pharmacy, and all those stuff. Have you acquired some basic practical skill while you are studying? Then do you have any awareness about what is obtainable in any workplace? Have you got minimal experience? The minimal experience you can get maybe through IT, industrial training or internship. Some, they say they are doing internship, but they are not really involved. They are just interested in getting money or pay. They are not interacting with the people there and with the equipment to get experience. Then we have general skill. Some people have tried to see that how do you interrelate this component? There must be understanding, skill, and I want to stress on metacognition. That is beyond the awareness you have. How can you deploy your appropriate skill to solve some basic problem? Some people have skill, but their skill may not be able to solve problems, and that is serious problem. So if you have skill and the skill is not translating to solution to problems, the skill is not as good as it was. So I propose a model called the Career Edge Model, EDGE. And this is predestined on three things: self-efficacy, self-confidence, and self-esteem. That makes you a value-added graduate. Do you have self-confidence? Maybe you are at an interview, you are fidgeting. You cannot express yourself very well. Do you even have self-esteem? You always look down on yourself. This is a serious issue in getting employment or even in getting a stable career. So let's just rush through this edge, EDG. So the chart is showing us how those things are related to the three components of your self-esteem, confidence, and efficacy. So number one of the component is E, the experience you have, whether in life or at work or some little experience you have got. Your subject matter, the degree, your certificate, then general skill that you have, then emotional intelligence. The degree, subject, and the understanding you have got there. People generally believe that why you go to higher institution is to study a specific discipline, to gain a degree and get higher qualification. What is the aim of all this? So that you get a good job or a better job. And this is still the same thing all over. But I must tell you that 2/3 of work available are for any graduate. It's not discipline specific. So that means if you have a degree, you are a potential employee. The remaining 1/3 of the jobs are for specific qualification. So that should give you some confidence that at least once you are a graduate, you can get a job. Depends on the way you package yourself. Number two, your experience in life and some work experience you have got. Maybe you are migrating from one work to the other. Very, very important. Some people, jobs, they need some basic experience. Maybe 1 year, 2 years. It depends on the level you are entering. At graduate training, you may not need any experience. But when you are getting to managerial level, you need some basic experience. At least you must have acquired some experience from other places, which will be very useful to the employer that wants to engage you. And there must be partnership between, this is a serious problem we have in this part of the world. There is no synergy between our institution and employers. Unlike in the other part of the world, the employers, they describe their curriculum. For example, Ford Motors, they have some specialized laboratories in some institutions like MIT, like Cambridge, and so on and so forth. So because they know the problems they are facing in the industry, and they want the graduates to be trained towards that solution to the problem. So, but here, we just do general training, everybody graduates, but no specific input from the industry, which is very lacking in this part of the world. But I think some companies are trying to get some synergy with higher education institutions like Shell, I think Lafarge, maybe Nestle, maybe some of them, they are seeing the need to form a synergy with the higher institution because it's very, very key in this part of the world. Okay, so the skill, general skill, and these are the things we have developed with time. I put a lot of things there, like your creativity, your ability to adapt to situation. Well, you are not just a robot. When they say do it that way, you don't even use ingenuity. Will it work that way? If I try other way, will it work? Very, very important. Then your willingness to learn. Some people are so rigid, even when your junior can tell you, okay, why can't we look at it in this direction? But you want to say I'm the boss. No, everybody, we are learning until we die. So we must be willing to learn. Then, can you work independently? You don't need somebody to be giving you instruction every time, do it this way, do it that way. You should be able to master the art. Your ability to work in a team is very important. Some people, they just want to withdraw to themselves alone. You cannot work in a team. You must have ability to manage other people. And this time, you must have ability to work under pressure because the demands of the work is so much. For example, if you are working in a manufacturing sector, you have what we call a schedule, and you have targets for each production. Maybe you are working in maybe Cadbury, for example. You have to produce 10,000 tins of Bonfita. You must do that. Whatever happens within that short time, you must make sure that you achieve the target. You have ability to work under pressure. Then you must be able to communicate properly, and very important. And you must pay attention to detail. Don't just gloss over any document. If they bring a document to you, check it, understand what is there. They just say, "Okay, sign." No, don't just sign. You must understand what is there. Pay attention to details, which is very key. And you must be able to manage time. Time management is a serious issue. Some people, they cannot manage time, and it's a problem. So you have ability to coordinate and ability to use new technology. This time now, we're talking about working remotely. Can you deploy the technology that is available? Very important. And you have to learn. Nobody is going to train you in picking up new technology. It is your duty to learn how to use new technology. Yeah, let's talk about emotional intelligence. Very important. Emotional intelligence is the capacity for recognizing your own feeling and those of others. And this is for motivating yourself or managing your emotion very well while you are relating with other people. Many people fail in this area. Little things, they flare up, and that can affect your your ability to engage properly. Maybe you work in one environment, you don't like the way they are doing there, you resign. You work again 1.5 years, you don't like the way they are doing there, you resign. How long will you be resigning? Because your emotional intelligence is very, very low. Therefore, for anyone to achieve value addition, you need to have well-developed emotional intelligence competency. So something we call CDL, Career Development Learning. Now, the activities that will help graduates to become more self-aware, to enable them to give real consideration to things they enjoy doing. You may be studying a course, or you study a course, but while studying a course, you enjoy doing another thing entirely. And you have to develop yourself in what you like doing better. That is the area you can really excel. Yeah. So you must have the ability to research into the job market and see the opportunities available. There are a lot of adverts all over the places. Do you check them? Do you know what is the trend in the job market presently, so that you'll be able to plug in into a specific part of direction? Somebody said that there is little you can gain in developing employability if you cannot identify a market in which to advertise the newly developed employability. So if you cannot identify a specific market for you, it may not be the course you study that you are going to be engaging. It may be a skill that you have acquired. Somebody was to be employed in Chevron as a mechanical engineer, but this person has got a lot of skill in repairing generators, industrial generators. So at the interview, they discovered that this person can be the head of our facility. So instead of putting him in the straight line mechanical stuff, they put him at the head of the facility because he has got some skill. And that is very, very important in getting employment. So I talk about reflection. You see, even while we're in the institution, the training does not give you time to reflect and evaluate yourself. The skill I'm getting, the knowledge I'm getting, how do I deploy it to solving some problem or to providing solution to some problem? So if students are not given this opportunity to reflect on what they are acquiring, to evaluate themselves, they may end up not being employable at the end. So there must be personal development planning. Everyone should plan how you want to develop yourself. And this is a vehicle for reflection and evaluating yourself while you are learning, and when you are out, what you have been able to develop will really help you a lot in your future engagement. Yeah, the three things that tie those edge: self-efficacy. Somebody define self-efficacy to be belief in one's capability to organize and execute a specific course of action so that you can manage situation. Some people cannot manage situation. Once there is emergency, there is problem. Once the flow line is not working as a plan, there is problem. But you must be able to manage situation. Very important. Self-confidence, very important, you must have confidence in yourself. It's your ability to present yourself with self-assurance. Very important. You must be sure of whatever you do. Not that someone say, that thing you are doing is not correct. You must be doubly sure of what you are doing. Then self-esteem is to have self-respect and a feeling of worthiness. Some people, they are so dejected. Maybe because of the course I read. That's why I didn't get a good job. No, it doesn't matter. Once you are a graduate, you, as I said, 2/3 of the jobs are open to you. Do you have self-esteem? Do you have feeling of worthiness? Do you think you are worthy as somebody to go and achieve whatever you want to achieve? So now, these are practical things now in value addition. Number one, your ability to multitask. Some people, they can only do one thing at a time. You must have ability to do more than one thing at a time. And if you don't have ability to multitask, you will be lagging behind. You must have ability to do many things together and still achieve success. Some people, if they do two things together, one will suffer for the other. And the employers, they are looking for people that can multitask. You must have this ability of multitasking. Then this time, certification is very key. Check your profession. What are the certifications available in your profession? For example, maybe you are an accounting graduate. Do you have ICANN? You may even go to CIB, Chartered Institute of Bankers, all those stuff. They are very important because certification gives you an edge, gives you an advantage over other people. They may not strictly say they need that certification, but once the employer is checking to your CV and see that, oh, you have certification in a specific task, then you will be willing to engage that type of graduate. So there are different certifications, but you have to check, like PMP, like SAP, and each of these certifications, the entry point is always different from general graduates. For example, if you have a PMP, I'm sure that when you are engaged, you will not be placed on the same emolument with a fresh person that doesn't have that type of certification. There are something like in computer, Oracle. Then, even if you have some skill, we'll talk about that later. So if you have certification, you will be able to get a hedge above your counterpart. In an advanced country, there is nothing you do without certification. If you want to be a barber, you must have certification in barbering. You can imagine. So that is the key. So, and it gives you a lot of edge. Then practical experience. You can acquire practical experience in many ways. Maybe you want to go into automobile engineering. You can come down and learn from even the mechanics. When you go into the automobile engineering, the way you will do it will be different from somebody that is just theoretical. So you must have practical experience and specialized skills. So you have skill, maybe like you can do programming, you can write codes. These are specialized skills. And you go out of your way to develop yourself in this skill. This is a lot of addition, a lot of advantage for graduates, instead of just saying I have certificate. Everybody have that certificate. But what do you have that will give you edge over others? these are the things you must have. Your ability to think outside the box. There are many ways of doing things. And this time we are talking about efficient way of doing it. Maybe you discover that in your industry, they have been doing something in one particular way. And from the skill you have got or your experience, you think that doing it in another way will give better uh, productivity. So, but if you cannot think that way, you will just be doing it the way we have been doing it. That's the way we must do it. No, why can't you look at another direction of doing it? And that can give you a lot of edge over other people. Then I must tell us that we must be prepared to take any employment for a start. Maybe you read accounting and they say that the job that is available is security supervisor. Take it. You cannot tell what can happen from there. I see many engineering graduates now, they are now bankers. They will not say because I read engineering, I must work as an engineer. No, take up whatever comes first. From there, you can now be thinking of getting the exact thing you want. But if you say, this is what I've studied, I must be engaged in that profession, then it will take a lot of time for such a person to get a job. Take up any employment you have now. That is a starting point. You can grow there. Later, you may even discover that you now develop interest in that job that you have taken that is not even what you have been trained for. Then you must be able to switch to any profession as opportunity comes. You have seen medical doctors that are chartered accountants. They will not say, oh, I must be a medical doctor by all means. If it's accounting work that is available, so be it. Take it. You should be able to switch to any profession at will. I've seen some graduates, they are employed for another thing entirely from what they study, because they are prepared to switch to any profession as opportunity comes their way. Yeah, we have talked so much about value addition. What are the things that will not make somebody to add value? A non-value added graduate is a graduate that is not employable. And it may have certificate, but there's nothing to show or that certificate is carrying. And these are some of the things I've put down as what you see in those type of people. Number one, they depend so much on the certificate to get job. There are other ways you can get job, not only on that certificate. And these days now, skill acquisition is very important. You must have proficiency in what you are doing and have specialized skill. They cannot think outside the box. That we're doing it this way. This is the way we must do it. No, there are many other ways can be. And they are so rigid on one profession. There was one of our colleagues, many years. He read English. He said that he must get job in oil and gas. You see, why can't you look for a job in school? You say, no, God will never be a teacher. He was looking for a job more than 12 years. He said, no, it must be in oil and gas. You see, that's rigidity. And meanwhile, that is not even his profession in the first instance. So they don't have motivation to acquire any certificates. If you ask now, engineering graduate, what are the certifications available for you? They may not know. Accounting graduates, they may not know. You must check and know the certification, no motivation, nothing is propelling you to get this certification. And problem is, many of them can only do one work at a time, one task at a time. And they waste a lot of opportunities. I must tell you, it's the opportunity will once come. It may even come many times. And if you don't seize the opportunity come like a flash. If you don't seize the opportunity, it may not come again. And a lot of opportunity coming, these people will not seize the opportunity, they waste the opportunity. So these are what I'm able to hold down for us. So if you have questions, we can ask. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you so very much, Doctor, for taking your time from your busy schedule to join us on this program. So I'm going to unmute. If you have any question, there is the chat. There's the chat part of our page. You can actually put your question on the chat part of our page to see, to just share your questions. You know, maybe you can see what I'm saying. If you have any questions, just share. Just share your questions. So, or probably before we go to the question part, let's just take a break. Let's just take a break. Now, I'll get back to us. Just a minute. Let's just take a break. Just a minute.
Oh, that's why she right. Follow the organization. No, that is share a lot of. You enjoying it? Ah, Madunchemo. This is a little. Okay. Oh, okay. What is your screen? Uh-huh. Looking ballet. Looking ballet. Ballet. Ballet.
Yes, thank you so much for the time and patience. I believe we have all listened to our facilitator for today, who happens to be my lecturer while I was in university. And I think it's time for questions. I've seen some questions by the side. So, okay, Ayo is asking a question. Ayo, just a minute. Ayo's question is about the certification. Must the certification be limited or related to our course of study only, or is it advisable to enroll for certification outside your course? So that question is for you. Taiwo Abib is the one asking the question. He's saying that must the certification be limited or related to a course of study only, or is it advisable to enroll for certification outside your course? So, Dr. Ojolo, that's the question is for you, sir. Your mic. Okay, your mic is still on mute. Okay, now, yes, yes, we can hear you.
So, number one, first thing is to first know what is the trend. You know, when I was talking, I talked about researching into the job market. So, you must know the trend in certification. Number one, it is advisable you have certification related to your course of study, because it's an advantage you want to get. But when you are migrating, then you can have certification in the profession you are migrating to. For example, now, if you maybe as a medical, you are trained as a medical doctor, you want to migrate to accounting, definitely you have to be certified in accounting. Do you understand what I'm saying? So it can be related to your profession, but if you are planning to migrate, it's better you have certification outside your profession related to where you propose to migrate to.
Taiwo Abib. Let me unmute you, Taiwo Abib. I hope the question answer suits your expectation. What did you say?
Yes, I'm okay with the answer, sir.
Okay, great, great, great. I have another question here from Bashiru Wahab. Bashiru Wahab Tunde. He says, my question is, as a graduate of business administration, can I switch myself to another discipline like economics? Bashiru Wahab Taiwo.
Yeah, they are related now. It's administration, management. Why not? You can switch to accounting, you can switch to psychology, you can switch to economics. That's migration. It's still within your professional area. So as a business management graduate, you can enroll. Maybe you want to have a higher degree in economics, or you want to be certified as a chartered economist. Why not? Yeah.
Okay. I have Ayo here. Ayo is also asking, we all know that to acquire recognized certification in your profession requires payment of huge amounts depending on the area of study. He's now saying, is it possible to acquire online certifications that can still be valuable, if not up to, but almost as the recognized ones?
Yeah, even the situation now globally allows that. You can get online certification, which is very far cheaper to direct contact. And there are some centers all over that can give you opportunity to get certification remotely, virtually. So it's the same thing with getting it directly. So you can get it online, virtually, and with the pandemic situation now, most certification agencies are even clamoring for virtual method. Okay.
And yes, we have a few more questions here. Now, Taiwo Habib is also asking, that what about the certifications that we enroll online? How well is it recognized? Are there discriminations or not?
No, no discrimination. Once it's the same agency, there's no discrimination at all. Once it's the same agency. These days now, there are virtual university. I think you know that. So if you get the degree virtually, no one will say your degree is not recognized. So once it is recognized agency, nobody is interested in whether it is virtual or direct contact. For example, even our now, National Open University in Nigeria is like a virtual university. We all know that. So if you bring a non-certificate to an employer, it cannot discriminate you and say you don't have a real certificate. That one is not possible. In fact, we have some of them even in neighboring countries. For example, there's a university in South Africa. They call it top up. So if you have HND, you can get BSc 1 year, and it's online. And many employers are taking the certificate. So it's recognized. Yeah.
Okay. Eloho Ogene Amari ask questions that, sir, please, what's the best way to write a graduate CV? What's the maximum pages of a graduate CV? Is it advisable to include certificate ID in a graduate? This Eloho's question is about 5 in 1. One after
Okay, let us be taking one by one.
Okay. Okay. What's the best way to write a graduate CV?
Yeah. When you are writing CV, as much as possible, be sincere and honest. Don't write what you don't have. Because if a situation arises and the prospective employer asks you what you don't have, for example now, if you say you can write codes and you cannot write codes, and maybe a big coder is in the panel, and he just asks you every ordinary MATLAB codes, you are off balance. You know, you are frustrated already. So as much as possible, be very sincere and truthful when you are preparing your CV. Now, there are two things. There's a resume, there's CV. A resume is a summary, something that, most of the CEO, they don't have much time to be reading all your stories. So a resume within 5 minutes, he has got all the things he wants to get about you. So you don't need too much stories. It's like a bullet point. Certification in PMP, that's all. And maybe BSc honors, second class upper, University of Nigeria and Nsukka. That's all. You don't need to write story. Even the experience you have, just say it in a very concise manner. So you don't need to say too much story in your CV, because the employer don't have that time. You don't know how many CV they are going to go through before they decide who they are shortlisting or not. Yeah. Okay, the next one. It's smooth already. Hey,
she's also asking, what's the maximum pages of a graduate CV?
There is no limitation to pages. but as much as possible, don't say stories. Compress your information into phrases that somebody reading can understand. So you don't need to say all stories. I see some CV, even the beginning will put you up. They will write motivation, they will write, we don't need all those ones. What are your experiences? What is the certificate you have? What and what, where maybe your internship, just state it there. Maybe ExxonMobil, graduate training, or maybe Shell, development of Nigeria, internship. You state the time, and that's all. You don't need to say too much story in because when your CV is becoming too voluminous, you are pissing off the prospective employers. Unless in some cases where you need a lot of experience. I said while I was speaking, maybe you want to be employed as a manager. You need a lot of experience. So, and your CV will speak volume of the experience you have. But as a new entrant, you don't need too much story. And also, how many experience have you even got that you are going to write down that will increase the number of pages? Yeah.
So her next question, is it advisable to include certificate ID, I think, on a graduate CV?
ID like?
I think,
example,
let me unmute Eloho. Eloho, I've unmuted you. You are the one that asked the question.
Okay, sir. Something like maybe LinkedIn, CV, certificate, or probably from HSC.
Okay. HSC, Health and Safety Engineering.
Yes, sir.
That one is a certification. It's not ID now. That's the name now.
I think
you don't understand.
I think what she's trying to say is probably the certificate number.
No. You don't give your certificate number on your CV now. But in some cases, if it's professional, like COREN now, like if you are a registered engineer with Council of Engineering Regulation, you need to put your certificate number because somebody may want to trace it. Do you understand? So, but in most cases, maybe for clarity or for how do I say now? So that the prospective employer will be doubly sure that you have the certification because it's traceable. Your number is traceable through the organization. I think, have I answered you?
Yes, I think she's nodding her head.
Hello?
She's
okay, you saw her nodding.
She's nodding her head. I can see her video. If I unmute her, the noise on the background is too much. I think she's in a noisy place, so that's why I muted her. She's nodding her head.
She's in a garden. She's in a garden.
Okay. So,
is it not? Hello?
Yeah, yes.
You are smiling now.
Hello, you're in the garden. Okay. Our next question is also relating to cover letters online. I see most ending with yours sincerely, but in school, I was taught that formal letters end with yours faithfully. So why do cover letters end in yours sincerely?
These are semantics. You can say yes with faithful. If I don't even end my letter in that. I just say thank you. That's the end. Or kind regards. So these are some of relics we are carrying from our institution. If you say you are sincere, you are not sincere, how will you know? So maybe you just say thank you and end your letter. Or you say yours faithfully and you are not faithful. Is it not possible? Yeah, just say in a cautious way, thank you. That's the end. Or you say kind regards or best regard. That's all. Yeah. Okay.
So Eloho is also asking, is it advisable to open all, is it advisable to be open to all jobs irrelevant of one's discipline as a fresh graduate?
Why not? If the job is not tying to any profession, why not apply? For example, banks, but coming to bank as fresh graduate is not tied to any profession because you are still going to be trained. So why will you limit yourself? Once the job advertisement is not specifically asking for a profession, so you apply. Yeah.
Eloho, okay, she's nodding her head. Okay, for Babasheye Oshunyomi says, what advice or words of encouragement can you give to someone who has wasted valuable years, like 10 to 15 years, in getting a professional certificate? What can he do different to gain the years wasted?
Okay, wasting waste like how? Or he didn't get the certificate on time. Is that what they mean by wasting time?
Let me try and
I think
Abdul Kadir
because
Ayodeji. Let me try and unmute him so that he can actually throw more light on this question. Okay, I've tried to unmute him. He's just saying, let me see. Maybe in the process of getting the professional certificate, he spent up to 15 years in getting professional certificates. So he's not saying, what can you do?
But did he get it eventually? Did he get it eventually?
Okay.
Because that's so that we know where to start from.
Yes, Ayodeji, you are on now. I can hear you. Can you talk? Abdul Kadir.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon,
yes.
sir.
Good afternoon.
Abdul Kabir, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, good afternoon,
so
sir.
Eventually, did you get the certificate? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Did you get the certificate eventually?
No, sir.
No. Okay. There's still you can still brace up. Maybe you did not have enough information in getting the certificate at on time. But don't say it's wasted years. It's experience. As far
No. That question is not for me, sir.
Okay, so another person.
Yes, sir. My question is, hello?
I'm hearing you. Yeah.
Yeah. My question is someone that sent application for like maintenance engineer role to a company.
Okay.
Through an outsourcing company.
Yeah.
Now is now getting feedback, an invite for interview as a plant maintenance manager. Sorry, as assistant plant maintenance manager.
Okay.
With no kind of certifications like that, but years of like 6 or 7 years of experience as a maintenance engineer. What advice can you provide for that kind of person? Can he go ahead for the interview, or maybe there was some kind of mix-up for somebody like that to be
the person applied for plant manager?
No, as a maintenance engineer.
Okay, maintenance engineer. But they are now inviting him for assistant
plant manager.
Assistant plant manager.
Yes.
Yeah, which
yes,
one do you think is higher? The assistant plant manager and the maintenance engineer?
I believe, based on my experience, I believe the assistant plant manager the role is higher than that of maintenance engineer.
Sure. That means that it's an advantage now. So why can't you go? Why can't you go? I've seen situations where the people screening the applicant felt that the applicant is more qualified for that position, and there is a space for higher position. They can call that person for the higher position. Do you understand?
With no certification and so, sir.
Did they require certification for that role?
I don't even know the job description of that plant, assistant plant manager.
Aha. So you have to first find out what is the job description. Does it need certification? But if in the wisdom of the people screening find that that person is more qualified for assistant plant manager, why not?
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
I really appreciate, sir.
Okay, thank you, Ayodeji. We have more questions. Wow. We have question from Ayodeji also. He's saying that, okay, I think that's the question you just answered now. Now I was called for an interview as an assistant plant manager through the consultant. And I don't have any certifications yet. Could there be a mix-up, and what advice can you, for me, let me just chip in something. Look here, I just want to chip in something here. Now, for assistant plant manager, especially for FMCG, if it is for FMCG, you do not need any special certification for assistant plant manager. All you need is experience. If for FMCG, you don't need any special certification to be assistant plant manager. All you need is your experience. If you've passed through engineering, warehouse, and every other field, and they feel that you are okay, then you can be called up for that position. So you don't need any special certification for that.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. It's truly for FMCG, sir.
Okay. So now,
thank you very much, sir.
Eloho is asking a question, and she's asking,
Eloho again?
Yes, Eloho loves to ask questions.
Okay.
She said, please, sir, what's the difference between a certificate and a certification?
Okay. You are using in the same language you are saying. A certification is that you have proficiency in a role, mainly practical proficiency. Are you getting it? So like a PMP is a certification for project management and so on and so forth. So that means you have a special proficiency, a special skill in that line of action. So that is certification. So your certificate is your degree. Maybe HND, BSc, a master's or whatever. I think that is what I can say. Thank you.
So we have Infinix, Taiwa B, about the CV, sir. What about writing the duties and responsibilities of each of the positions occupied at some point in our workplaces? Is it necessary, sir?
Yeah, you see, when you write duties and responsibility, you are belaboring the employer. Why can't you just tell us the experience you have gained in that while you are on that duty or while you are taking on that responsibility? Are you following me? Maybe, for example, you have been a technologist, maybe a fitter machinist, and you work on different tools, you prepare maybe spare for your company. So just write it there. Because if you begin to say your duty, your responsibility, that will make your CV to be very, very uninteresting. It's the experience that your prospective employer is looking for, not the duty you have been engaged in, your responsibility, all those stuff. Tell us what, as a plant, as a trainee engineer, what are the experience you have gained? Maybe you are at filler machine, or maybe you are at bottling section. What are the experience you have gained? That is very important. Because your duty and responsibility may not clearly spell out your experience. So, yeah.
So we also have someone that calls himself Infinix Hot 5. His name is not showing. Infinix Hot 5. Sir, thank you very much, sir, for taking our time to educate us, both fresh and experienced graduates. Sir, you talked about certification in our profession. Some of us have had such training, but yet the opportunity never came. It's so pathetic. Sir, I think it's better to move away from certificate-based economy to a knowledge-based economy. Sir, don't you think it's better to get on-the-job training and skills from the job for the smart ones? Kenneth Obiniche.
Don't mix up two things. So, certificate is your degree. So, at least you need the degree to even get access to the employment. Certification, I say, is added advantage that you have. And you will discover that the certification is in a specific line of action, which may be based on experience from the need from the industry, from the establishment. So, for example, you have heard of Six Sigma. I think some of you have heard of Six Sigma. Six Sigma is a sort of waste minimization scheme. And when we talk about waste, different type of waste, human waste, resources waste, material waste, time waste. So most companies don't want to waste anything. And they will not want to now put you on training to go through that. If you are certified as a Lean Six Sigma, your entry point is different from somebody that have been there 5 years, 7 years, gaining experience, but his experience is not toward that specific line of action. So experience is still good, but getting proficiency in a line of action is the key now globally. I won't deceive you. Is the key globally. Yeah. I cannot hear you.
Okay, just a minute. We have
I can hear.
Okay, Cosmo. Okay, Techno POP 2+. Sir, what of if the job requested for certificates and you only have the experience? What can someone do?
The certificate is important too. That is even the first line of consideration. For example, now if the job requires for BSc and you have OND, they won't consider you now. Even if you have more experience than the BSc, you will not be considered because you have not met the first requirement. So there is no point going for that. Yeah.
Okay, so we have Dera Anago. How can a fresh graduate with no experience write a very good CV and cover letter in order to land a good job? For instance, I have a BSc in geology, but no experience. So how do I convince a company to hire me through my CV and cover letter?
Yeah, maybe you don't know you have experience. Did you do internship? I mean, your IT, because that is an experience. Yeah, it's the person online now because you cannot go to any institution in that type of course of study without going through IT. The IT is deliberately designed so that you have some experience while you are learning. So you can't say you don't have experience unless you did not do IT. So your IT is your experience. Unless you did the IT outside that your geology. That's another problem. For example now, yeah.
There are.
So
I want her to talk. I've actually unmuted.
Okay,
Okay, Dara. Okay, so you have the floor, Dara.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, actually, during my IT, I did it outside my course of study. It was just a 3 months IT, so we barely had time. It wasn't even up to 3 months. They just told us to do our IT when we were on holiday. So we didn't.
But your program,
did
they not design IT into your program?
No, they didn't for my university. It's supposed to be 5 years, but we only did 4 years. So
What
the
happened? Why
IT was
did you
like
do
a proper one. I don't know, but that's how it is with the university where I school. So it was just 4 years instead of 5 years. And we didn't have enough time for IT. So only people that had connections, they are the only ones that were able to work for like 2 weeks when they were on holiday. And others that didn't know anything, they just had to do it in other places. So now the only experience I have is as a sales representative or assistant, just menial jobs I did after school. And now I really don't know how to convince employers that I'm open to new opportunities and I would love to work anywhere, even though it's not in the field of geology. But my problem is how to convince them, that I'm ready to work and learn.
Some don't even need your experience. You may be trained in their own job line. So don't feel bad that you don't have experience. But if you want to go to geology, you will need some basic experience. Because nobody will entrust their equipment to you without you having had interaction with any of the equipment before. So there are many opportunities you have. So just be on the lookout. There may be a lot of opportunities.
Okay,
sir.
Dara, now,
yes,
I would like to offer you an internship role for geology, if you are interested.
I'm very interested, sir. Thank you very much.
So
that's good for you.
There's an ongoing job that is related to your field now. So ensure you private chat me. Are you on Get Jobs?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so private chat me, and in fact, I can ask you to go today if you are not too busy. Are you ready to go somewhere now?
So actually, I'm a 7 copper, but I'll be passing out on the 15th of next month.
No, that's not what I said.
So I don't know.
Are you ready to go somewhere now?
To go down?
Yes, sir.
Now?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready, sir.
That's good.
I'll send you to somewhere now. The location is in Ikeja.
Okay.
Where do you live?
Presently, I'm not in Lagos State, so I'll private chat you and we'll discuss about it.
And let's discuss. So
thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. I have Taiwo also. I have a certification in health and safety, and I have a certification in health, safety, and environment, but I haven't had any practical experience on it till date. Can I still apply for the position of HSE officer, even if it demands experience?
If they demand experience, but how will you get without any? Did you not do practical?
Taiwo Habib, you have the floor. Is Taiwo Habib here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
What I mean, the experience I'm talking about like workplaces, experience at workplaces. After the NYSC, after what we did during our NYSC, we had no opportunities I have not had any opportunities to practice HSC at any workplaces. So I understand that is probably the experience they are talking about. So, but because those experience, I don't have any experience at workplaces, concerning HSC. So that is what I'm trying to ask, not the ones we did at the point of.
You can still apply. At least the practical you did during the certification is enough to. Depends on the the entry point at that company. Huh? So you understand?
Yes, sir.
So at least while you are getting the certification, you did some practical stuff, is it not?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, sir.
apply.
So
If the experience is not saying specific number of period of time, you can apply.
I would love to ask. I would love to ask Taiwo Abib a question. What are you currently doing now?
Currently I'm into part-time teaching.
Okay, you're into part-time teaching.
Yes, sir.
But you're interested in safety and environment, right?
Yes, sir. I also sent you a message that I'm also a graduate in geology. That I'm open to internship too. I sent it on the chat now.
Okay, private chat me. We'll link you up for the safety internship if you want to learn.
Okay, sir.
You're not paying a kobo.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Where do you live?
I live at K2, sir.
Okay, so it's easier. So private chat me. We will get somewhere to do your internship for safety.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. And I just want to chip in, please, always network. And that is why we are bringing up training sessions like this so that we network amongst each other. So I have a question. Kenneth, sir, you said we should not despise any work that we get while hoping for our dream job. We should get actively employed with the job. Sir, is it advisable to apply for a job that is meant for OND while you have a BNG because of the fear of not getting a job for a BNG? Is it advisable, sir?
You see, there are two ways, because some industry, it is the line they employ you, you will grow through. If you're employed as a technologist, you will grow through that line and you will not be an engineer. So you have to weigh your options. If you are in desperate need of job, you can take up an OND role while you are looking for your BSc role. Because once you are growing that OND role, you cannot switch to the BSc role. It's all over, even in government service also. If you are taking as a technologist, you cannot be an engineer. So, but if you want to use that to start while you are looking for your dream job, why not? Yeah.
Okay. I think they are asking that how can they get in touch with you? Somebody is asking that.
Okay, I think you have my contact, display my contact for them.
Okay, so for those that want to get in touch with our professor, please private chat me. I'll give you his contact. If you want to private chat the professor, I can give you his contact. Then Ibrahim Adebinkwe is asking, if someone is given a managerial position which he has never held before, or even near, okay, how can someone go about managing the role and not messing up?
So you are giving a managerial position, but
yes,
you have never, you go through it now. You cannot jump. You cannot jump to be a manager now. You have to grow into it.
Yes.
There, you see, I said you have to have willingness to learn. You will not go and display your ignorance. You privately, you develop yourself. Or else, you are not worthy to be a manager. So you can't just be employed as a manager. It's step by step. Now it's growth in your line of action. Maybe you were a supervisor before, and there's an opening for a manager. Why not? You can be a manager now. But if you see that there are some deficiency, you have to brace up, get the experience privately by yourself, so that you don't mess up before your subordinates. Yeah.
So now, okay, Olanrewaju is asking, so I have a BSc Economics, BSc Education Economics. How do I convince a company to hire me, considering being trained as a teacher?
It depends on what they want you to do. At least the whole economics you have is to apply the economics to training people. So you also have the economics training. So you can be employed as an economist. Why not? You can. Or you can get some professional certificate that will give you a better leverage. Yeah, but that you have educational training doesn't say you cannot be employed in industry.
Okay, so I think this is the last question so that we allow our prof to go and rest also. Amid Mushin Idowu, there has been so much talk towards getting a mentor to model in a particular field. How best can one go about getting one? Keeping in mind that it seems people are not really ready to mentor in this part of the world. I have tried LinkedIn, but not working yet.
Yeah, maybe it depends on the information at your disposal. For example, I have a lot of mentees, in many fields, even outside my profession. So, number one, your access to information, very important. There are people that are willing to mentor people, but if you don't have information about them, you may not be able to get access to them. So if I know people in your field, I can recommend you. But mentorship is not fixed to your profession. Mentorship is based on wealth of experience. Somebody can guide you so that you don't take wrong steps. That is the main basis of mentorship. So maybe you are an accounting graduate, an engineer can mentor you. He has some experience in managing things and so on and so forth. So it depends on your information that you have. Okay. So you can send me a message if I think I can mentor you by myself, or I recommend you to a mentor. No problem. Yeah.
I have about 3 more questions here. I don't know if I should ask them to send it to you privately because of the time.
See. Maybe in the next 3 minutes, or the Zoom will soon be off.
No, the Zoom is not, it will not be off. It's not.
Okay, let's try to, okay, so that everybody will be satisfied.
Okay, let me start from the last. Adenle Waliu, who has not asked any question before. How can one multitask for a 24 hours maintenance engineering job that doesn't give time for career growth and development?
There's no company that can put you on a roll for 24 hours. So let us get that correct. I'm not sure in any part of the world. Even the so-called Lebanese, Indian, Chinese, they won't put you on a roll for the highest they can put you, which is very rare, is 12 hours, and I'm not even sure. Because that's why you have shift in job schedule. So a shift is 8-hour period. So there's nobody that can work efficiently for more than 8 hours. Once it's getting beyond that, your efficiency drops. So check, something is wrong. There's no way you can be working for 24 hours.
Then, yeah. Okay, Agnes HMB, I have interest in human resources and I'm in the process of attaining my CIPM certification, but I don't have the experience. How can I convince a company to take me as an HR officer?
No, you have to get the CIPM first, since that is not your training before. That is what is switching you now from your discipline to the new discipline now. So nobody will believe that you are an HRM expert without that showing. It's either you have degree in psychology, philosophy, sociology. You may not need CIPM for a start. But if your degree is not in that humanities, then you will need a certification to give you a leverage.
Okay. So I think that has answered the Adenli. Then I have Dara has asked another question. Okay, she's saying that I'm currently in Enugu, but we go. Okay, that's not for you. The one for everyone is okay. They were just making reference to what you were saying about the 24 hours. Okay, somebody said that an operator in this course works 24-hour shift.
Okay, shift. That one cannot be, that 24-hour shift, as I understand, will be 3 days. Yeah, that is it. Then the remaining days, you can do other things now. If I is even far better than somebody doing 8 hours every day. You have a lot of time to do many things. Because if you work 24 hours for 3 days, that is equivalent for a week. So the remaining 2 days, you go and rest. So you can convert it to something worthwhile.
So Benga said that in NIPP power plant, jobs as an operator, the shift is 12 hours. That's what the guy is saying.
So it can't go more than that.
That's what
can't go more than that because it's more a specialized shifting.
Yes.
So you can't go more, and you will have day off also. If you are working on 12-hour shift, you will have day off.
And I have okay, we'll take this one as the last question because I've already dropped your number on the platform for people to get in touch with you. So Idris Balogun, good day, sir, and thanks for your insight. My question is based on Greek engineering. Getting our job roles is hard in this part of the world, and trying to convince recruiters that you know how much about mechanical machineries and mechanical engineering are getting our jobs roles too. What will you advise?
Okay. You see, though there is little awareness about that profession in this part of the world, but luckily there are people that have advanced in that profession, but they may not be practicing that profession per se. I can mention many of them. So, for example, now, I was trained as an Greek engineer. That will surprise you. But I've never practiced that Greek engineering.
Wow.
So it depends on you. I said you must be able to think outside the box. So I've always seen myself as a mechanical engineer, even while we were on campus. And all my skill has been in mechanical engineering. So you carve a niche for yourself. And it's not only mechanical, you are as good as a civil engineer, irrigation, soil and water, waste management, and so on. So look at where you are very good in that profession. Develop yourself, and you will see that you will have something better.
Okay, so I have, I think we have tried, this is 2:44 p.m. And I think we need to allow our facilitator to attend to other busy schedules. And I've actually dropped your contact for everybody. So for those that want mentorship, they can private chat you. They can ask more questions for those that need your advice also. Somebody said he wants to be an operations manager. A lot of questions. So they'll get in touch with you privately. So I want to appreciate you especially for
thank you.
Giving us this time. I know it's not easy getting someone like you to this kind of platform, but we really appreciate your time and effort and your experience. And I believe that every other member of this platform is grateful for your presence here. So for those who wish to know more about Get Jobs, go to our website. Our website is www.getjobs.ng. www.getjobs.ng. That's our website. And for those who wish to join our Telegram applications, Telegram platform, we're over 23,000 on our platform. You can just private chat me to get more information. So in the presence of no other questions, I think thank you so much for this period. Thank you so much. And I wish everybody a happy weekend. Thank you so much, sir, for your time, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, so we'll now be ending this session shortly. So private chat me or private chat our facilitator for any questions. So thank you so much, and I wish you all a happy weekend. Bye-bye all.